Do you want to be almost impossible to beat this year? Let me tell you how you're going to do that. Think about the players at your club that almost never lose, whether they're 3-5s, 4-0s, 4-5s, or even 5-0s. What they all have in common. I'm talking about the ones that barely lose. And people are watching on the deck, and I've heard it over and over again. People say things like, man, they're just so solid. They have no weaknesses. They don't miss. These are the things that they say. And it's not the people at the club, interestingly enough, that you're like, wow, they have the biggest serve I've ever seen. That forehand's a monster. Not to say that some of these players that are the best players at the club that are solid also have that. Like, you know, how many people have you like seen, and they kind of get a reputation, and it's kind of sad because they worked on their game to look good. It's like, oh, they look good. It's just too bad they can't put it together. So we know that just looking good, looking flashy, having nice strokes, hitting the ball hard, these often are the players that are kind of like the big disappointments around the club, to where like, how come they don't win? They look so good. They hit the ball so hard, but they can't put it all together. They miss too many shots. But then when you really peel back the onion of the tennis player who does not lose, and yes, sometimes these players look flashy as well, but often they don't. But when you really start to analyze their game and you go, okay, serve, first serve pretty good, second serve solid, right? They swing, even whether it looks great or not, they're swinging through the second serve with confidence. It's got some power. Then you start to look at when they get into a rally with somebody, you're like, they don't lose rallies. They don't lose rallies. Why not? Because they got the ultimate rally ball. They have discovered a pace that they can hit at to where they can go 100 times in a row if they need to. And they have solid fundamentals to be able to do that. I'm not talking about the player at like 3-0 who wins at 3-0, right? That's fine if they just tap it in. They're not going to be winning again at 3-5, 4-0, and 4-5. I'm talking about these players that can go up the ladder and be your best players at the club. Their fundamentals, whether they're flashy or not, are solid, to where they know that every time they stroke the ball, not poke the ball, stroke the ball, they know it's going to go in. Okay? Then if you look at when they get a short ball, they don't necessarily, hit it 100 miles an hour and blow it off the court, but they don't miss them, and they place it in a way to where it sets them up for success with a volley. And then again, their volleys often, they might not have a Johnny Mac drop shot or, power through their volleys, but it's placed well. They don't miss it. They put it in a spot to where even if their opponent gets there, they can't do much with it. And so these are the players to emulate at the club, not the ones. Certainly no one's trying to emulate the player that just touches and taps the ball over the net. That's not what you want. That's not why you're watching online instruction. You also don't want to emulate the player that just looks so great. It's so funny. Throughout my whole time playing, I remember I've seen players at the club who had strokes like McEnroe, right? They look just, because McEnroe was like the hottest player, but they didn't play like McEnroe. They just missed so many shots. Then you had players trying to look and stroke like Agassi. I remember playing against some of these players, and when you're in the warm-up, you're like, how am I going to beat this player? But then all of a sudden you get in the match, you realize, oh, it's all flash. There's no cash there. It's just all, for curb appeal. And today, I even played doubles, and this was a really nice guy, really nice guy. But his strokes look just like Federer. But of course, he didn't play like Federer, and he misses a lot of shots, But then you have the players at the club to where, again, and many of these players, it's not like you're not looking good, because many of these players, and if you have a certain level of fundamentals, you look good, you look better than average, but you're not turning heads necessarily, okay? But they never lose. They always walk off a court a winner. And how are they doing that? Because they built a solid house. They've got solid fundamentals that they can trust day in, day out, shot after shot, any scoreboard. They don't feel the scoreboard pressure as most people do. Not saying that they don't get nervous. Everybody gets nervous. Don't make it a goal to never get nervous in tennis, because that's a bad goal. So these players that maybe appear to you that they're not nervous, they're nervous, but they've built up this nice solid foundation that they can withstand the pressures that their opponents put on them and that they put on themselves. And so that's why I've come up with Next Level University, is so that you can start to build this solid foundation, one big rock at a time. The big rocks, again, remember, second serve. This is not about a serve. You gotta have a solid second serve. Return of serve. You've got to be able to not be giving away free points when someone's serving the ball at you, and you've got to put it in a place to where you're just not getting tattooed on the second follow-up ball. Whether you're playing singles or doubles, doesn't matter. The next thing you got to be able to do is develop the ultimate rally ball to where, it's mano a mano. Again, this doesn't matter, singles or doubles. You're going to get in cross-court rally patterns. I mean, you want to be the one that goes, I can stay back here all day. I'm not going to give you a short ball. You're not going to be able to hang with me ball after ball. You're going to panic. You're going to shank it. You want to be that player. And then finally, when someone gives you the opportunity, when they break down, they give you that weak ball, you want to be able to do many things. You want to be able to come up and punish it. You want to be able to come up and hit some winners. You want to be able to come up and hit a nice low chip shot that sets you up for an easy volley. And then once you get through that and you're up in pole position at the net, you don't want to blow it, right? The worst is to play a point to where you put together a lot of great stuff, and then you can't put it away. You either miss the volley, or the volley just sits up and then they come up past you, or they run the ball down and they just lob it over your head. So the way we do this is I give you access to everything I've ever created, all my training, right? Pretty much my life work. Every tip that I've ever thought of in my brain is in Next Level University. And you're using that to find the one big rock, the one thing that you need to work on first to move your game to the next level. And then I'm there to help you. You can set up to 4 videos a month. This is a $400 value a month if you take advantage of it. You got to take advantage of it though. But you send me a video, just like I'm talking on the phone right now. You just use your phone. It's simple. Send me an email with the link or the file, easy. And then I analyze and I show you, hey, this is the one thing you're doing wrong on your serve right now. You change this one thing. You go out and do this one drill that I'm telling you to do, and you send it back next week, you're going to start to see your game progress. It's going to get out of being stuck. And so I hope that you take advantage this year, because I know 2020 is going to be a great year. For me personally as a coach, I'm excited to work with people. And I know it's going to be a great year for the people that put in the work with me. That's what it's about. Next Level University is not about downloading courses and then all of a sudden you're magically a better player. It's about having the knowledge at your fingertips anytime you need it. And it's about going to work with me, and it's not about working extra hard either. That's the other thing. It's not about doing nothing, but it's also not about doing everything. When you focus on everything, you get overwhelmed. When you focus on too many things, you get overwhelmed. But when you start to focus on one thing at a time, very systematically, very methodically, you take the time that it deserves and you enjoy it, rather than put pressure on yourself to, be rapidly improving. It's like that tortoise and the hare. You think you're moving like a tortoise. You think you're moving slowly. And then the other person is like trying to do a million things, and you're watching what they're doing. They move so fast, they're trying this, they're trying that. Well, they typically tend to get stuck and go nowhere. It's kind of interesting. And then all of a sudden you look back, as somebody who you thought you were moving like a tortoise, you didn't really, and all of a sudden you look back and go, wow, I improved a ton. That's how it works. That's how it always works, guys. That's how it always works. That's the key. So take advantage of it. Can't wait to help you. Take care.